Okay, so Google's AI is about to get a massive upgrade. The company just dropped a whole bunch of news about its next generation model, Gemini 3, and believe me, it's way more than just a performance boost. This actually changes what an AI can do. Let's break it down. But before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, I want you to just think about this question for a second. What if your AI could not just answer you, but actually act on your behalf? Just keep that idea in your head because it's the key to understanding everything we're about to talk about. First up, let's talk about the brain of the whole operation. The foundation for this entire update is a much, much smarter core AI. And this time, Google is kicking off the Gemini 3 family with its most powerful version right out of the gate. And that model is called Gemini 3 Pro. You can think of this as the new top-of-the-line engine, the one that's really meant for those super complex prompts, for high-end analysis, and, for bringing your most ambitious ideas to life. Now, this is actually a real shift in strategy. With the last version, Google had a few different models. You might remember Flash for speedy answers. Well, with Gemini 3, they're simplifying things, focusing on one single, incredibly powerful Pro model that's designed to be the best at the really hard stuff. We're talking advanced planning, coding, you name it. So what does smarter actually mean here? Well, yeah, it can solve complex math and science problems, but it's also about better understanding you. The whole goal is for it to grasp what you really mean with less prompting and to give you answers that are direct and objective instead of just, saying what it thinks you want to hear. Okay, let's move on to the next big idea. And honestly, this is a truly fundamental change. We're talking about moving from an AI that just generates content to an AI that can actually build your tools. It's called generative UI. And here's the crucial part. Instead of just writing text or making an image, generative UI lets the AI create an entire interactive user experience. It's not just describing a tool for you, it is building that tool for you right on the spot. The process is just beautifully simple. You tell it what you need, Gemini generates a custom, disposable user interface. Think of it like a little mini app. And then you can actually interact with it. It's a tool made just for that moment, for that one specific task. So for example, instead of going to search for a mortgage calculator website, you could just ask Gemini to make one for you. Boom! A quick, disposable tool created just for that situation. But it can also get incredibly personal. Think about this. You could ask Gemini to generate an interactive simulation to explain something, but tailored specifically for a 5-year-old, with totally different visuals and content than one it would make for an adult. The potential here is it's massive. And that brings us to the final and probably the most advanced new feature. Remember that question from the beginning about an AI that can act? Well, say hello to the experimental new feature that's trying to do just that, the Gemini agent. This is all part of a bigger idea called agentic AI. The concept is simple. The AI doesn't just give you information, it actively goes out and performs tasks for you. We've seen this with other tools like Perplexity's Comet, which can browse the web and apply promo codes at checkout. Now, Google is officially bringing its own version right inside of Gemini. And this, right here, is where Google has a huge advantage. The Gemini agent is designed to be deeply integrated with the services you probably already use every single day, like Gmail and Calendar. So this isn't just about one app. It's about letting the AI take actions across your entire digital life. So what can it actually do? Well, imagine it organizing your inbox for you, or generating a reply to a specific email, or even finding your travel info in Gmail and then going ahead and booking a rental car for you. These are the kinds of autonomous tasks it's being built to handle. Now, I know letting an AI book things for you might sound a little scary, but Google is really emphasizing that you are always in the driver's seat. The agent has to get your explicit confirmation before it does anything. Nothing happens without your final say-so. Okay, this all sounds absolutely incredible, right? But as with pretty much any cutting-edge tech, there's a catch. So let's talk about the practical side of this whole thing. Access, cost, and what's coming next. And here it is, the big one. Access to the experimental Gemini agent is available now, but it comes with a seriously steep price tag. We're talking $250 a month. Yeah, that price point alone is going to put it out of reach for most people, at least for now. And just to put that number in perspective, competing tools like Perplexity's Comet cost around $20 a month. So Google is playing in a completely different league here. It's a move that probably helps them limit access and, deter misuse while the feature is still in its really early experimental phase. But the agent wasn't the only thing in this update. Google also rolled out something called Gemini Labs, which is where you can try experimental features like that generative UI we just talked about. They also made some key improvements to coding, response formatting, and the entire app got a visual redesign, including a new true black dark theme. So, to sum it all up, this wasn't just some minor tweak. It was a massive, multifaceted update that really touches everything from the core AI model all the way down to the user interface itself. It's a pretty clear signal that for Google, it is full steam ahead on AI. And all of that brings us back to the big picture. All these features, the smarter reasoning, the generative interfaces, these autonomous agents, they're all just steps on a much, much longer road. And it leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on. When your AI assistant is smarter than you, who's really in charge?